And he says he's old age, and once he passed away, he said, I am free. In Venerable Jnanarama, has the Mara given us special permission for him to go first and then to go second? It's not. And then the discussion abrupt stopped. Then he told, I'll tell you one thing. If you come to a forest and sleep, that itself is worthwhile. Even for the sleep, if you go to the forest, it is worth. And then he lean against and say, when you are getting up, if you are in the forest, still a blessing. Your senses have no mischief. There is no much of a titillation. Of course, it is physical. So therefore, we must understand coming here. And even with struggle, if you keep the posture without talking, without physical misdeeds, how to vision? And on top of that, if you are keeping on the primary object, I would say that thought moment is the Nibbana. What else? It's almost like a Nibbana. But the only thing is we can't maintain it. We can go anytime. Again it falls on. So we have to plead. We have to be the slave to that situation. Let my mind be another third moment in the same object. Then you are not pleading outside. You are pleading within you. And the Buddha will be with you. So those who have got little understanding about the mindfulness and the concentration, always try to maximize it with all possible sacrification. So many people don't understand this value of, even if it is boring, even if it is distorting, be with the mindfulness. The precious nature of such a thought moment, there is no papancha, no tanha, no mana, no ditti. Specifically when the boredom comes, mind you, no tanha can happen. Can? Yeah. And no dosa can happen if you know. If you know on the way I have to face this, now it is there. So much I developed dosa, that mistake. Now if I am going to take dosa, forget to be agitated, lost. And moha, you have to understand, this is a product of meditation. This boredom is a product of meditation. So then you are really face to face with the first noble truth, dukkha satya. So only for the good meditators can have boredom, not for the inefficient. Inefficient already dropped. Gone. Only the successful yogis can entertain this boredom, that monotony. And don't try to escape. Don't be escapist. Be with it, and you are heroic. Day by day you will be reinforced. Simply you will be a person without complaints. Whatever happens, no complaints. If someone says, you just say, with no complaint. To whom? We are complaining. We have to complain against our tanha, our own craving, that is the creator. So what to complain? Unless otherwise we are ignorant. We do, but there you have to say it is a double fold mistake. Single fold is unbearability. The second one is the complaining, hoping the other person can alleviate it. That is the foolishness. That is why Buddha says he has no doubt. I can't do anything on behalf of you. Only I can tell the formula, you have to do it. He is not the Savior. He says, he don't say, come to my grace, then I will bless you. No such thing. They are just mistakes. The personalized one-to-one relationship, physical, no imagination. If you have causes fulfilled, the results will be there. No causes, whatever you cry, no use. If the causes are there, you can't avoid getting the result. So therefore, don't be opportunities. Don't do little and expect more. Because I won't be a good friend for you.
There are three questions from the morning discussion. Some answered. I don't know whether we should go into them.
Yes.
Is it possible to explain jhana in samatha bhavana? What is to expect when you are progressing? So one does not get into a situation where the person does not know what is happening. when the light appears, what is the next step? Is it a jhana? Do we continue to observe the light or continue with the anapanasati?
Simply result-oriented question. Whatever may be, that is my interpretation. So it is natural for young characters. Always that Western society is result-oriented, so therefore these things happen. But old age people don't care, they think even coming to the meditation that is good, what jhanas for us. So they don't have this kind of planning. It is good, it is a dynamic question. But don't put the cart before the horse. Put all the time primary object first, and then others will follow without any hitch, without any discussion.
There's somebody waiting for Mrs. Gunatunga.
Mrs. Gunatunga? So, therefore, this is natural, that this is what I call, without fulfilling causes, expecting the results. This happens. This is not a crime. But therefore, what we have to do is to go there. Only thing is, till the last drop, be with anatta. And then if the light comes, it will be refined and ultimately light will take you out. Take you into the absorption. Asāsapasse cittan santāti, attāsapasse cittan okkamati, vipassana, upekka santāti. Anapana will be just dropped and mind will be just absorbed into the light. That is the most mature and healthy way of going into the jhana. Once you go on, once you experience it, later you can do it by determination. But not advisable at the beginning to do it because you are overestimating. If it is so, you will be in the conditioned mind and then you will be falling to the same path again and again. Therefore, first shot. It must be natural. And it is called, if you are without come up to the proper concentration, if you are going to go into by determination, you will feel definitely something new. But it is called eating sour mango. You don't let mango to mature and fall ripe. Instead you pick it and fumigate, still it gets ripened, but not the original taste. So therefore, now you have gone trodden about 80% of the path. Be patient. Be with the primary. But this explanation has a wrong connotation, wrong feeling, because when the light comes, some people hate the light. It will disturb my anapanasati, and therefore whenever the light comes, they get agitated and they get excited and allergic. That is not the idea. The light is a byproduct of the alignment of the primary object and the noting mind. Or the efficiency of the mindfulness and the concentration. So keep on polishing. Keep on polishing. And then only the light come up to the proper maturity. It has to develop some magnetic power, nikanti. When the magnetic power happens, for example, if you take something like this, a magnet, a rod, and if you close hairpin or something like to a certain extent, when you come close, it sucks. When you come into its territory, it sucks. Till that you have to push. Once you come into that, it is the nature of the magnet. It sucks. So this is how the jhana happens. And even when the first jhana happens, second, third jhana also, once first jhana comes and you try for the second jhana, there also again you have to be like a beginner's mind. And then that's also another subject. And there you find the difference between the first absorption and the second absorption, because first absorption you have Maha, and in the second absorption you can measure and see. Otherwise don't go to the third. You can go, and no one can deny or disprove, but if you lose the sensitivity, the measurability, the verifiability, never you can recorrect it. Sometimes when you are doing a vipassana meditation, all these things are passing. And then the vipassana jhana, and it goes and comes. But in the samatha jhana, When it happens, best thing is to give enough attention to the mastery. But when you are doing mastery, your concentration is a little distant. Your concentration will not be in the full-fledged. Therefore, Paoksado is one of the best things. He says, more and more you do mastery, less and less the enjoyability of the concentration happens. To the utility value, you do the mastery, and then again polish the concentration, go to the second dhamma. And then again do the mastery, and then again you have to brush to get the concentration up to the mark, and the third jhana, like that it has to be. So therefore, this jhanic exercise is very cheap. It is not a very big thing. But the thing is to master it. Get it under control, get the reins into your hand. Otherwise, when Paoksado come to the monastery, in a journey, he told, whenever in our monasteries, when you are going into the monastery, you have to wash your legs and wipe it. And he told, this is giving me headache. Therefore, I will not go into the house. We'll have a discussion under the tree. So we all get together. And there one person asked Bhante, Vipassana way is known as the Dukkha Patipada, the crossing, suffering. And the Samatha way is called as Sukha Patipada, this Niramisa Sukha. What do you feel? What do you say? He says, conventionally it is so, but a remark. What? Once you go to the jhana, and once you lost it, when you fight for the second time, it is hellfire. It's a hell torturing. So earlier it was so under the nose. As and when you like, it happens. Now once it's gone, you find so difficult, and then you feel like committing suicide. Then he says, if it is so, it is also Dukkha Patipada. Yes. That is because of the mastery. If you have done the mastery, when it is power reduces, you know, my precept has gone, or my timetable has gone, or something like that. But if you have not done the mastery, you don't know where it is lacing or gaining. So therefore, mastery is very important in this samatha game. But now, when you read or when you listen, many people underestimate it.
So what do you mean by mastering?
Mastery is you have to, the first three mastering is, whenever that you say first you experience the absorbing, going to the object, then after a while the magnetic power reduces, again the rational mind comes, object appears. And then again you develop the concentration. Then you feel the magnetic power slowly increasing. And then up to when it comes to the proper maturity, you can make a determination, let my mind go into that. If the mastery is good, if the concentration up to the mark, mind is obediently absorbed into that. So it is a master. And then you have to tell, go there, you have to tell now enough. Whatever you like, get out. Then obediently mind has to become. Going in, one master. Whenever necessary, you can come out, second master. And the third one is, you have time. You can say, go, be there 5 minutes and come. Go, be there 10 minutes and come. Then you alarm fix in the biological clock. The third master. Fourth one is, after getting up, you can look back the nature of the mind which was in the absorption. Now you are looking from the rational point of view. Still you can see. The fifth one is, you can analyze and see jhanic factors after you getting up, recall it, analyzing jhanic factors. So it appears like a very technical thing. So they are very important to have a teacher or the proper kind of a scientific measurement.
So in between you can go back to the prime object and...
Yeah, whenever you are not in the jhana, you have the ability to go into the primary object. Whenever you are in the jhana, that is, you are in the primary object, you can't see the primary object. Now we are inside this house, we can't see the building structure. We know we are here. Something like when you access into the building, you can see when you go in, you have separate view.
There's another question. I'm leaving tomorrow. I will have to get back to the old routine. How can I avoid? I think it's going back to the
The old routine.
How do we go to prevent going back to the old way of?
Don't prevent it. Do not prevent it. Do it the same. You may repeat it, the question again.
I will have to get back to the old routine, inevitable.
That means when you have to go back in the old routine, happy, unnecessarily. Don't expect that I am a new person, I am a meditator, therefore you don't look back with the nose. That's the worst one can happen. You just come back as a commoner. I am just old foolish woman, or I am a foolish man. Just belong with the people. Whenever you get the chance, you go to the meditation center, it is a separate issue. When you go back, when you are how do you call it? When you go to the Rome, you have to behave like a Roman. That's an old saying. So when you go to the non-meditators, don't assume. They are dirty lot. If I go to do it, why can I maintain my mistake? That means you are creating an antagonism. And that's the worst thing for a religious, spiritual person to do it. No unassuming thing. That is, I am master in my place. Master is, when I was practicing as a layperson, in the second year, on to the 6 years, and still more, I was associating all the kind of people. No one knows. I go any party, any place. Recently I met, last time I went to the Subodharama, I met one of my Muslim friends. He said, hello, how are you? Then I come into my vehicle, so we'll go there, and we were walking. Then he said, you must visit my house. Then I don't know, I am a tight program, I have to go there. He was coming to, what happened to you? Then I asked, what? Because I never expected you to become a monk, because you were fully entertaining person at that time. Full-fledged, more than him. Pleasure seeking, I am master. Then he told that I did it, but after my father's passing away, I got it. Had I known at that time, I wouldn't have let you go there. Then I told that I know. Become a monk. And my all sisters and brothers still telling the same sound. And my friends I met after 40, 30 years in Australia. They are astonished to see that a person like me become a monk and talk about no precepts. They can't imagine, because I am the breaker. At that time I am a first-hand culprit. But no one knows. I did it for 8 years, maybe 10 years. No one, Venerable Dhammika, Australian, he told, don't assume. You just run the same lifestyle. Don't change your clothes. Don't this thing. But whenever you have the chance, go to the team. We have a small circle. We have the Vedana Dhamma group. Wednesday 1 hour, Sunday 1 hour. No one knows. We go there and have full membership with them, discussion of one sutta, sitting 1 hour. And come back home, do normal routine work. And again go. Habitually I go 3 years. And one day when I come home, when I leave home and go there, one of my cousin brother came, and mother has asked, he has asked, where is so and so? Yes, he's going Wednesdays and Sundays, not telling us. Then he has told, there's a movement called JVP. There are classes. I think you do not know nowadays. So therefore be careful. So when I come, mother gave me the big huge bowl of rice, and while eating she was sitting. Then I said, it's not done for me to ask where are you going and all the kind of thing. So I look at that, what is going to come? He says, there are some Janta Vimutti Peramono or something like that. I don't know you people, I do get people who took up with that. I mean, I'm telling you, be careful. Then I thought, this is also kind of a vimutti, but not Janata vimutti. And my mother can't understand what is the vimutti and all the kind of things. And therefore, I told that nothing to worry. I had to keep it high. So all my friends and all everyone, I can bring fire under the body. That is my skill. That is my skill. I am telling you all have, you don't think it is a spiritual, you think it is cheating life. But if you think it is so, you will get hooked up, you will assume. So much so you face the repercussion, family problems, educational problems, political problems. Your spiritual never progress. No. You have to be like when you are in the home, you behave like a Roman. When the bat go to the girlfriend's house, never ask for chairs. So therefore, the question answer is, go back full-fledged. Don't assume anything.
That's not a little bit sorry. How can I avoid pressing the reverse switch? Please advise.
So that is why if you are not hoping for the reverse way, what to press? You just behave. How can I live in the same society, even with little understanding of Sila, little understanding of Samadhi, little understanding of Panya? So you have to make a clear cut. When the Sila, Samadhi, Panya come, it never creates a repercussion. It's give a least frictional path. So you must know how to use it. Don't use it in an assuming way. So I have to maintain it and therefore I have to dissociate with that all. Dissociation will happen with time. You don't do it. It happens. Slowly when it happens, then Dhamma flourishes. And they will get the vibration. Definitely they will get the vibration, but not by words. It's a silent sermon. You behave the way you are liberating, you are asking for the solitude. Throughout that is your primate. But even then you take the busy task and helping others and all the kind of things. But what I may vary is the Sri Lankan way, Koskapana, a lot of cola. So what you have to do is at the beginning apply some coconut oil and then start the dough. Then very easy to get the dough. Or otherwise when you are working with the electricity, put a rubber glove and then handle it. No problem. It appears like the normal hand, but you know, in high tension wire, but you know it is with the rubber glove. And I think this is the most gainful hobby in life. Most gainful. It is, you always titillating and giggling inside. What are you doing? What are you doing? Never mind. Whenever the chance comes, I know. So therefore you behave normally in life.
Continue to watch TV.
No, but you can see, you are not looking, but seeing. Seeing happens, but you are not looking. And in the discussions also, you can say yes, some kind of thing, but after a while they understand we are not entertaining. They will be bored, and they will sack us, they will outcast us. Slowly. By that time you will, then the Iba, when you are going to put into the water, it says, don't throw me, I will die. Because the water, I can't be like. And but that is what you are hoping. That is what you need. So when the people are outcasting, it's unfair, isn't it? That to outcast a person like me. That you say tata and go and do your...
But be mindful.
I mean, throughout that, this is not the single mindfulness, double fold. That mindfulness is, I don't know, I can't infuse you, but I know everyone has this capacity, but you don't feel, you people do not believe this as a gainful tactic. You think it is something cheating ourselves, or that is not what the Buddha expects.
But that's why we are here.
So this is here is, which is rational, anyone can understand. When you go back, you have to go. Undeniable. And don't be synthetic, don't be an artificial thing. Just be a same old person. And work this, as far as the intention is clear, intention is pure. There's nothing, no any power in the world to cross your path. That is slow, but steady.
Swaminathan, Can I ask a more technical question?
Yeah, we will give that third part and then I will come to you.
All right.
The third one, if someone upsets you, how can you handle this by being in the present? How to react or not to react?
So this is means that beforehand you would have upset him, otherwise he can't upset you. It's so simple. Because you would have passed that event and now you are starting the new story. But if you go back and see, definitely it's the case. And the moment you see it,
when the scolders,
in America, they started this stress reduction program. In the stress reduction program, they started the 4th grade children, that means 10 years old. They have told that when the teacher is not there, they are teasing each other and doing all the kind of nonsense. You know, that is natural. And they have told, one by one, if someone is going to tease you, if someone is going to hurt you, if you get angry, you are lost. So you must try to maintain not to get angry, whatever he is doing. That is the only simple message to the young mind. They have given for 2 years continuously with failures. And this is whatever the other party is going to do, irritate you, or titillate you, or tease you. If you get angry, you are the loser.
How old are these children?
10 years.
10 years.
After 2 years, 12 years, they found very successful characters. So they have picked in and done a social survey technique. Put a question about them. And you have been successful in that because no one can lose your temper. And therefore it is developing. Now the question is, if you are to teach this to your fellow students, how you are going to teach? Asking with the 12-year-old class. This is impossible. Impossible to teach others how to do it. But you, some of the others, feed us and then now we are in that. Then they have pressed them. Please, please, please. You are the successful. Then one girl has told, I can give an example. And then ask. She says, whenever someone is doing odd thing, or titillating, or irritating, or something, I just look at her or his mind. I feel a wave, a lake with lot of waves. Agitated pool. So if I look back, I feel mine is a very calm and quiet forest pool. So now my tactic is to not to get confused with these rugged waves. So then I am successful. I am looking at myself. See? You see? But that particular girl or someone has told, they has remarked, I hope, teacher, my parents they do not know this message, because when the mother got angry, immediately father gets. But they have not undergone this stress reduction program. So much so they can understand. So therefore, whatever the other party doing, your approach is up to you. You can titillate and you can create any Supreme Court cases. But if you withdraw back, if you come back to your central consciousness, you feel that as far as the mind is introvert, no one can hurt. That it is not a one-shot journey. To keep on practicing. Throughout you have to be very humble, very true to type in the advising, to the advice, keeping enormous practice. And whenever you get it, only the problem is how to teach others. Impossible. No communication can teach you. But by being such a person in a group, it's a silent sermon. It shows to the parents, to the teachers, and the fellows, that particular person is contented. Someone is literally, irritating, and just laugh and eat. The world read it as a I think it is a bad means that always surrendering and yielding. It's a negative.
It should be straight to the world, I think, that technique.
Yes, that is right, that is you got it. I mean, if someone gets at the 12, I think that you can imagine when the age matures how much the gain. So, I think it is easier with the young mind. If you can really give the message in a lovely manner, in a fondly manner. But we all bones, the lazy bones, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Therefore, when I am helping and fighting and teaching the parents, I think I have no any hope about you. You are useless. But one thing, your children will be definitely benefited. If the parents are practicing, children are enormously beneficial. You don't know. But they read it. Even they don't come with you for the sitting. Even if they fight and black at you, they feel it. And your unseen beings, they are benefited. So therefore, invest even for the next life. Never mind. Let the children get in this life. So therefore, it's a worth investment. Yes, we go for the next question.
It's very boring in comparison to what is already asked. I just wanted to ask about this Anapanasati meditation. When the breath gets subtler and almost sort of settles and disappears, with only the sensation remaining, I feel, I'll put it down here, just a constant feeling inside of sort of arising and passing away. It's just that it's a very bland, sort of very monotonous feeling that is in there. And initially it was during sitting meditation, but later on I used to get it when I was doing walking meditation as well, especially when I'm finishing come to the end of the Sakman and standing, get that feeling. And also when waking up from in the morning, early in the morning as well. And that this is not something that you mentioned about the breath breaking into hundreds and millions of. I don't think it is that. I think it is something inside. It's a very bland sort of energy which is coming and going, and it is very tiring. You mentioned about the word tiring yesterday. That's why I'm asking. And I can't seem to get over it. Most of the time when I get calmer and all the other senses go away, this sensation of coming and going very, 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 very fast, it is there all most of the time. And I'm just asking two questions. What is it I'm experiencing, and how am I going to get over it and start progressing meditation?
Then the second part. Second part of your question?
How can I overcome it? And then
that is the mistake. Don't overcome. Be there. That is the result of meditation. This is called inner space. Our mind was so busy throughout with the raga, dosa, moha. Now mind has one object that is clear, and therefore huge inner space. So now you're going to put some muck into that. You're going to overcome it. So when Jnanarama says, when you are experiencing it, determine, let my mind be there for 10 minutes. And if it is successful, determine, let my mind be there for 15 minutes. And maximize as much as possible, even 1 to 1.5 hours. But when over there, if you lost the interest, the sleepiness can come, because it is monotonous.
yeah.
But you must be very careful. You must understand, it is more than associating the primary object. This is a result or byproduct or outcome of the meditation. So don't let loose the attention. Be there. It is says, when the wick or the flame is burnt, if there are no cross currents, the wick is burning upright. So this is the mind burning upright. And it finds no titillation, no variety of entertainment, no projections, Nothing. So therefore, mind is got trapped now. Its magic has been already exposed. So therefore, no more magic show. It is called Vedapanyananda in the magic of the mind. He says, you observe in the magic show behind the stage, not from the audience. Then you see all the dirty things the magician doing. So no more magic. Because it's utter cheating. So this is the kind of, so ultimately go down, you spellbound, you dumbbound. You feel how to talk and what to do with this one. But this is the one of the pivot point, turnover point, to well familiarize this one. Be days as much as possible. Then only mind.
There is no, what comes after it? There's no.
That is, don't ask. That means you are another karma. You are questioning it. You are disturbing it. You are denying it. You are reacting it. So that is what our mind is. Because our ego is threatened now. It can't find any footings. So it asks in a crooked way to mind to do something there. Because I feel lost.
Absolutely.
So in the Sigmund Freud it says it's a healthy split. Healthy split. Earlier it was a well solid and you feel I'm healthy and everything okay. Now there's a split. And then you feel like a crack. But this indicates this is not a single crack, thousands and cracks. Everything is
flowing.
Everything is there. So therefore the brevity, the Sapurusha Sutta, Buddha says, when that happens, mind can be extrovert or introvert. Extrovert means you can have any visual object, can have any sounds, so it is eagerly waiting. So that means it is still, though it is independent, extrovert. That is called Asapurusha. Asapurusha. What do you mean Asapurusha? Ignorant. That is the option we do. What the Sapurusha is, you happy, come introvert, let my mind be there. Without any seeing, any kind of thing, let it run by itself. So that's the Vijnana, the consciousness loses its grip. There's no manipulation necessary, no manifestation necessary. So Vijnana is taking the upper hand as far as the manifestations are there.
This is not that Vijnana you spoke about.
This is still a preliminary stage. Because you are still challenging it. It has not taken the good footing. So you have to support it. But the best and foremost is reporting it. Then only the teacher can understand what it is talking about. Many people don't report it. They think it is something wrong in the meditation. No, mindfulness has gone scattered. Or no concentration. Or my primary object also gone. Therefore, never they report it. For reporting itself, you must have a boldness. And later you find, you try to make hobbies out of that. Be with it. So that is why it says that if you have appointment, definitely ending up with disappointment. If you have an appointment with a disappointment, definitely you are the villain. You have an appointment with this disappointment. 1 day, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then you see that there are no cases, there is no winning, there is no losing, no cases, court has been closed.
Where does the observer reside?
So that is why observer try to fix this thing. You are not supporting it. You just let it unevenly suspended decision. Or suspended decision. You are not going to verdict. You are not going to ask who is the cursor and what is caused. You just see now there is a threat. Now uncertainty has come. You're giggling inside and just waiting and see. What the craftsmanship and what the mischief the mind going to do, the vijnana going to do. And you claim it as mine. Ultimately you are the loser. So therefore, leave it undecided. Don't ask this question. Every question is a challenge for this situation. This is just primordial form. This is just taking shape. The inner space. Don't put any muck. Don't challenge it. This is the first time in the samsara, sometimes maybe, that you are going to see open window. The sun can put the rays now. So keep the window open. Keep this inner space as much as possible. But imagine how to do it by yourself without advisors. Impossible. Impossible. That is why Buddha says, Sambuddha. He is the only person thought this may be the trick, may be the doorway. We just wait. And then he found, yes, that is the way out. As far as we are hooked up with, engaged with the rational mind or the senses, so no hope.
The technical question, I don't know whether Shiva must first that statement regarding the sign appearing. Now in the Ahansati, firstly they are short intake, short out, and then eventually it gets extended. And of course, first you notice the gap in between out getting left and then coming back. And there comes a stage when you don't see the gap, and then it becomes one.
Continuity.
And at that stage only, I used to notice this sign appearing, sometimes in red, sometimes in blue. It's scintillating. But I also noticed that when my mind gets disturbed even slightly, if I'm not in total command, the size becomes small, big. So is that an indication of my mind? Because it's a reflection of the mind, it's the sign. Now, I was just wondering whether I can make use of it. I can make use of it in Vedanta, Pasana and the other things because my eyes are closed. Can I make use of that to apply it to Vipassana? Because, as you say, you cognize, it's noted. Then, do I derive strength from original concentration? Because if that concentration is there, all I have to do is to close my eyes and I get back the thing, then I'm confident that I can focus like a magnifier on the Vipassana. Can I do that?
The two ways I have to refine my question. The very first thing is, your challenge is this situation. This situation you have to familiarize. Don't let the attention go to the materiality, to the mentality. Sign is a mental. Mind situation is mental. So, the materiality is now settling down.
Is it Nama Rupa separating?
No, that is separating now. You are asking the question, it is okay to change the shift from the Rupa to Nama?
Yeah.
No, it is unwanted thing, it is complication.
Right.
Because this has to go further and you have to get seasoned further. More and more mindfulness and the concentration has to, if it is so, naturally mind goes to the materiality. But if you are going to interfere, you go with your ego idea. I change into the Vipassana. So that means you are missing. Right. So you can interpret in many ways, but as you raise it, you can say you are rushing and you are finding accelerated way to go from Rupa to Nama. Yeah. So that is not a good decision. That is not a rational decision. You have to master as much as possible in the Rupa. And then it will go to the layers, subtle and subtle layers.
Yeah. Now when the light is there, I do not go beyond that because if there is total absorption, then I am in the first jhana. Whereas I am not in the first jhana. Because if it is in the first jhana, then you don't see anything further.
But these are your statements.
Yes.
But that is not the way. If the first jhana happens, why don't you go there and master it? Then you can make use of the concentration in the well sharpened manner. But if you appear, the second part of your statement, you have a reaction or allergic to the jhanic sphere. It is not none of your business.
Right.
If you are a person, how do you call that, with the character of samatha yanika, it comes. And if you are going to suppress it, then and the complication happens. So if first jhana happens, it naturally happens. If it is so, you feel its qualities, and then you have to slowly master it. And then go to higher jhana. So from the first jhana onward, After the establishing, you can go to Vipassana.
Just the vacant nature of the mind, there are no thoughts arising at that state. With the light on, there are no thoughts arising. Is that within the first jhana?
No. First jhana still Vitakka Vichara is there.
Yeah.
Second jhana is the one. But this is may or may not be Samatha state. Maybe Vipassana state. So best thing is to be familiarized with it for long hours. Then you can make a better statement. You can make a rational statement. Now it is too young. Working on it? Prasna karo? Check Prasna karo?
සමත කර කර ඉන්නකොට ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඔටෝමැටිකලි විපස්සනාවට යන්න පුළුවන්ද?
සමහර අය වෙනවා. සමහරකට වෙනවා සමහරට මේ ගුරුවරයා උදව් කරනවා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම සමතේ ට්‍රැප් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඇට්‍රැක්ෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. නිකාන්තයක්. ඊට ගියාට පස්සේ ඒකම ඇබ්සෝබ් වෙලා ඔහේ ඉන්න ගතියක් තියෙනවා. ඒක සාපෘෂ සූත්‍රයේ ලස්සනට බුදු දානන්සේ පෙන්නලා දෙනවා. මම දැන් ප්‍රථම ධ්‍යාන ලැබලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා ඒකේ මාන්නය කරලා. ඒක ඇලෙනවා. ඒකට යා පාර වහගන්න. මොකද මේ බුද්ධ ශාසනයේ ධ්‍යාන කියන්නේ මහා කුදේවල් නෙවෙයි. නමුත් sometimes ඒක උදව් කරනවා. So therefore when the samatha jhana develop, as much as it comes by your way, you make use it. But don't overestimate or don't underestimate its trap. As far as you know it is a trap, easy for you to tackle it.
Those two can coexist also.
Samatha and Vipassana.
Yeah.
At the beginning they are contradictory, at the end they are complementary.
Can I ask you something? You mentioned the observer of the witness as conscience, as in Jnana. Now when you take the Nama group and the Nama also you have the Sanya Sankara Vijnana. And that is the I consciousness or whatever the consciousness. So where does the witness, when you talk of the formless or being, where does that fit into consciousness? Because the consciousness in the Nama Rupa there, that is the sense basis, that's consciousness. So where is this witness or observer or the form?
This is a tricky link. One thing is touchable, verifiable sense organs. The other thing is mind projection. Vinyatti Rupa and the proper Rupa. Both are confused. So therefore you do not know head or the tail. Sometimes mind projects.
So when the Buddha referred to as the five aggregates, he was referring to the sense basis.
Sometimes both. For the Puthujjana, the sense based one is the farther away. The close one is what you project. So therefore first and foremost you have to remove that veil. And then only you can see the aggregates as aggregates. At the beginning you see aggregates as what you projected. Such a place that you have to first remove this veil, remove this mist. It takes a long time.
ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ කොහොමද හේතුඵල බලන්නේ?
හේතුඵල
බලන්නේ කොහොමද?
ඒක ඉස්ලාම ඒකට කියලා තියෙන ඉස්සලා ඵලය බලන්නේ. ඵලය හොඳට මාත්‍ර කරනකොට හේතු වෙයි. අපි හේතුඵල කියවම හේතුඵල ඵලය බලන්න ඕන කියලා ඕන කෙනෙක් හිතන්නේ. ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් නෑ. ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් ඵලය බලලා හේතු දුක්ඛ සත්‍ය පෙන්නලා දුක්ඛ සත්‍ය හේතු වෙනවා. නිරෝධ සත්‍ය පෙන්නලා නිරෝධ සත්‍යට මාර්ගය පෙන්නනවා. එනිසා බුදුදහමේ කොලේ වහලා ගහලා තියෙනවා.
When somebody sits to do meditation, and if he or she can't start with samatha, then you start with vipassana meditation. Is that right?
No, you have to qualify that. How do you know? Sometimes when you are beginning, you don't know what is samatha, what is vipassana. You are just come and sit.
You start with breathing. If you don't start with breathing and you start concentrating inwards.
Inward on what?
Being mindful.
On what?
Your mind.
Yeah, that is why this is, usually you don't find in the Theravada tradition. Theravada tradition always starts with Kayanapasana, not from the mental view.
Okay. But if you start to breathe and you can't feel the breath, then you start feeling the mind, the present.
Yeah.
You are at present, and then you feel, you note what is happening around you. So isn't that vipassana?
No, that's a kind of, if you, specifically in the current day situation in Sri Lanka, there are few traditions. They are starting with Nama Dharma, and very quickly you can gain something, and later you don't know where you are, how to get the reference, and ultimately so much of people, they can't go back to Rupadam, because they are already in an utter chaotic situation. So therefore they have to go definitely on that teacher, and that teacher says that's all. And then they are in a sign of a vortex. So therefore for me, I feel that Satipatthana Sutta, do the definitely enumerate, first do with the measurable. So that is one of the profound answer for these people, those who can't get the sensation of Anapana. Madhupindika came up with rising and falling, undeniable. You can give the hand and get it. That is how the West got the message. They are not waiting because Anapana is a subtle object. Buddha says, Na bhikkhave mutta sadisa asampajanasa anapana sating vadana. O monks, those who have no good mindfulness and the concentration, I don't recommend Anapana. Because Anapana is a subtle one. If you feel it, it's such a bliss, such a valuable thing. It's difficult. You know, everything settled down only you can feel Anapana. That means you are fairly safe. But therefore, Maha has a role. Sit, do breathe. If Anapana is not there, you may sometimes feel the rising and falling of the abdomen. Well and good. You go.
I had a problem in detecting the breathing through the nose.
Yes.
So
do you have, if I am to put a question, do you have any experience of the breath, leave aside on the tip of the nose? Do you feel in Pitana breath?
No, now I'm all right. I have managed to. But I had for a long time, I couldn't detect the breath and the nostrils.
Maybe.
But now,
that is a fair mistake.
But I thought, if one is not able to detect the breath...
So then you can do Buddhanusati, Metta, Marananusati. After maybe you can develop the Samatha. And then with that Samatha you can again come back to Anapana sometimes. It may be visible by now.
Yes, so, now it is okay. Yeah. But I have heard from Venerable Ratna that he said, one day you sit down and you are quite fine, okay, with breathing, then you go into Vipassana.
You have to go to the next prominent object. Don't say it is Vipassana or something. Often it is Vipassana, that is separate issue. But don't label it. You know breathing, instead you know you are living. You are not dead, you are not unconscious, you are not sleepy, kind of a being. Being. So you can be with being. So it helps you to calm down your mind and give kind of a concentration, kind of mindfulness also. That understanding being, don't try to say definitely Vipassana, but with the next prominent object, next conspicuous object. The nose is not there, breathing is not there, go to the next.
So where do you progress from there?
So when you calm down, sometimes you again feel the feeling.
So from there.
Sometimes, not definitely.
But until then you carry on with that.
That you don't give up. You just go with the, in Nissarana, you fall Samampicca Malnatnam, that a picture, I don't know who they are. Samampicca Malnatnam.
Oh, that's good. Do walking meditation too.
Next prominent object. Next prominent object. That means you don't give up. The mindfulness and the concentration due to the simple fact of not feeling Anapana. You just keep the mind within your body, whatever the object was. Maybe physical, maybe mental. Either.
Do most Burmese concentrate on the abdominal breathing?
Yes, that Mahaji system. And there are very huge protest. Others say it is wrong, it is Mahara's technique, so it has to be erased from the Burma. So there are some other people fighting. Even if you go there, No, I mean that when you go to the junction into the Sri Lanka, you can have Chinese hotel and you can have Japanese hotel. Now Kollatu hotel Cyber Kadi. Wherever you go, you can have different meals. But when you go to the Chinese hotel, don't ask Japanese. That is the only thing you have to be careful. When you go to the Chinese hotel, see what is available in a la carte, eat it. Don't go for Chinese. When you go to the Chinese, don't ask Japanese. That is the only thing you have to be careful. Because of many hotels are there. Unless you eat it, you don't know. You don't know which one is good. So that we can do experimenting, and whenever the suitable thing happens, the progress sets it.
Swami Wansa, are there any books written on inner space?
Mark Epstein. Mark Epstein is talking about psychotherapy without the self. And his first book is Thought Without a Thinker. These two books, he allocate some chapters. And not only the inner space, that number of other synonyms, and they deal in the chapter by chapter. He says that maybe I am not better to make the statement, that I feel is, when that happens, Westerners used to go to the psychiatrist for counseling. And psychiatrists double their madness. Because psychiatrist is a meditator, he is completely on the soul base. So when the soul challenge, he come and put again the soul, he fix it. And then when he come back, again the same thing happens. So now he understands the psychotherapy without the self. That is, psychiatrist must be first brainwashed. He must say this soul concept is a cancer.
It's gone.
It's a cancer. So therefore, first of the psychiatrist has to understand. So the Mark Epstein, each person started with the meditation, and then later he understands the Western psychology. Now he interprets in a very nice, healthy dialogue.
You were wondering if the psychiatrist was there.
Yes.
No, I mean, a lot of psychiatrists must be there. I don't know. Recently, one Dr. Padmasiri Visilva asked me to write a preface for his book, Mindfulness-Based Counseling. And then I am not a person to write preface because my English is so horrible. So I thought what I am, because he is my professor's professor. Then ultimately I just put some points. Then I wrote, Madhupindika Charachandra, one of the psychiatrists in Sri Lanka, he has written his book analyzing the Buddha's to-be, Bodhisattva's character from the psychiatric point of view.
Television?
Yes.
Harishchandra.
And then he has started the book with a very golden statement. Once upon a time, there were no psychiatrists. So I quoted it. I thought, if your book is going to be successful, in mindfulness-based counseling, there won't be any counselors, at least professional, once again in the world.
They have another name.
Huh?
They have another name.
Because that when the counseling happens with the mindfulness, the duality removes. The counselor and the counselee removes. It merges. And you don't see an entity or authority as counseling. It is a camouflage. It is a falsity. You have to accept it. Once you accept it, you reject the counselor. You understand? You have to reject the counselor. That counselor loses the job. The counselor is very careful to make him come back again and again. You see, we are how lucky. In the sense, at the beginning I told, I am not qualified to write preface to one book because I have never gone, I never counseled other one. Lucky enough, I have not been a counselee too. Never I go for someone. Because I know the other person also in the same boat. From the another point of view, I am saying. And when the inner space comes, who the hell can interpret it? Because he also frightened to get the inner space. The other person is in the bliss, but he interprets it as a cancer. It has a something kind of a very dangerous thing. And I am very, thankful to Mark Epstein. Read the book. I have very bad experience of recommending books. But for me, it was quite enlightening. Because I love Western psychiatry because I get a lot of vocabulary. And now a lot of meditative terms are now coming. And then the psychotherapy without the self is a kind of a revolution. The other one is John Kabat-Zinn. He has written a book, Full Catastrophe Living. That is mindfulness. Whatever the catastrophe happened, never mind. You are qualified. You become more immune. When the catastrophe comes only, you really live. Otherwise you are planning to live. You are proposing, you are projecting to live. You are not living. When the catastrophe comes, you are living. And if it is mindful, Buddha says that to arouse the faith, dukkha must be there. Dukkha upanisasada. So in a stage, you can read little now. If in the lake, you can worse. This evening I had a bath.
Hot water එකක් දෙන්න
The cost sounds a bit
මොනවා හරි තුන් හතර දෙනා මේක දෙලා එකක් හදන්න කොම්පොක්ෂන් එකක්. ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ මාඩෝ.
උත්තමාරි දෙක්ෂානේ මේ මොනවද after some time when you're concentrating on the feeling and everything, you don't actually you would think, oh yes, you don't think about the left or the right, you just feel the lift something leaving, the other one is the foot is getting onto the ground. Is that all right? Just to go with that.
Like a puppet. Like a puppet.
Yes.
So that's a very good sign that you are observing yourself as an outsider. And when it happens, before you come up to that level, you can have a very clear understanding of the left leg and the right leg. Once that passes only, you come to this puppet. So when it happens, you should not worry about the discriminating the left and the right. You let it happen.
Yeah, that's what I did because when I was concentrating on it happened and I thought, oh, should I be still making sure, that I think about left, right, but all I can see is...
If you are going to do left and right, then the concentration become upset. Therefore, just let go. Sometimes you feel like you are wavering. You can't walk properly. Here and there it goes like that. So, this is also possible.
So is that not something that happens normally?
Yes. Yes, that specifically you are going to concentrate and not this thing, you feel like a tightrope walking. You lose the balance.
I was wondering that I was losing my balance.
Yes, that's good. I thought I was... That's normal.
And after some time the mind rejects this labeling.
So that is, they are don't force. You have to understand it.
Slow mindfulness because it is noted. You went outside and nobody can ask.
No, there is no noting as such. You just observe overall. Nothing lost, nothing loses the grip. You can't have the hook. You just observe. Totality, you are there. But no control. It is like the puppet, it is working. The command is given, it's going in the same space, you can go and see. Yeah.